Academy of Art University's Urban Nights Update is next. Coming up, the controversy over e-cigarettes and what you need to know.
We'll take a look at a trend that's helping people save money and helping the environment too.
How San Francisco's North Beach neighborhood is going through a transition that's a sign of the times.
And join me at Oktoberfest right here in the Bay Area, where I compare it with festivals I've attended in Germany. All that and more on Urban Nights Update.
Hi there, and thanks for joining us here at Academy of Art University's Urban Nights Update. Picabo Reinhold is sitting in with me. I'm Galen Manhart, and here's what's happening. 13 years old. That's the youngest age someone has died from vaping. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have recently released the numbers of people affected by EVALI, which is what they are now calling the vaping-related illnesses. In the majority of cases of EVALI, patients have been hospitalized. The current administration is even talking about a ban on e-cigarettes, especially if these numbers continue to grow. The CDC is worried that with flu season around the corner, that the combination with EVALI could be deadly.
Juul Labs, the leading American maker of electronic cigarettes, has announced it will stop selling some flavored vaping products. Mango, cream, fruit and cucumber won't be available anymore. However, you can still buy tobacco, menthol and mint flavored products. Critics say it was a preemptive move by Juul to get ahead of a proposed federal ban on vaping products. Although vaping and e-cigarettes are not new, the concerns about their safety happened quickly and in a short period of time. Our own Brooklyn Marrera recaps what happened.
Is vaping safer than cigarettes? On Tuesday, October 1st, the first death associated with vaping was announced. E-cigarettes, also known as Juul and Soren, started to impact the young generation to where San Francisco felt the need to do something. In June, San Francisco became the first city in the U.S. to ban e-cigarettes to where no person can sell or distribute. This does not affect vape users 21 and older. The ban applies to brick-and-mortar stores and online purchases shipped to a San Francisco address. What do you think liquor store clerks feel about this?
Behind me is the local liquor store on New Montgomery. I had the opportunity to talk to the store clerk and hear his opinion about the e-cigs ban.
I think so. It's going to affect our business, taking Juul away and then the menthol flavored tobacco as well. But, what can you do? The problem is, you pay for a license and they don't even give you half of the product to sell.
E-cigarettes caught the attention of health officials, making them believe nicotine harms the development of the teenager's brain, including control attention, learning, and mood. But because one of Juul's headquarters is based in San Francisco, the question remains, what will Juul and other companies do? According to the Federal Center of Disease and Control and Prevention, there was a 78% increase in vaping among high school students and 48.5% for middle school students. They have reported hundreds of cases and possible deaths that may be related to vaping. The symptoms include shortness of breath, fatigue, vomiting, and more. Juul has decided to stop supporting Proposition C. The Proposition C is created to authorize and contain the sale of electronic cigarettes and vapor products. Juul agreed to the ballot, but after spending $11 million in commercials, they stopped supporting. The company believes it will drive adult smokers back to cigarettes. Hayden is a teenage vapor who made the switch from hearing the health issues involving vaping.
I stopped smoking because I was super addicted, and there's a lot of deaths occurred this year, and Juuls have only been open for the past 3 years, and 4 packs of pods equal 4 packs of cigarettes, and there's 20 cigarettes in a pack. It's gross.
Hayden is right. E-cigarettes are addicting and creating a dangerous habit among the younger generations. It's advised to stop vaping and save your life. In San Francisco, I'm Brooklyn Marrera with your Urban Nights Update.
So far, 1,500 people have suffered health effects because of vaping, and that number continues to climb.
Not so grad for college graduates. A recent study from DataTrek Research shows that for the first time ever, recent college graduates have a higher unemployment rate than the base U.S. population. Moody Analytics chief economist believes that the high unemployment rates are due to the slowing economy and uncertainty created by the trade war. Although things aren't looking too great for college graduates, the unemployment rate in San Francisco has fallen to a record low The city's 1.8% unemployment rate is the lowest it's ever been recorded. Despite fear of recession due to the U.S.-China trade war and high-profile companies stumbling, there is no major signs of local economies slowing down. With the Bay Area at the center of the state's economic boom, one can only hope the trend continues.
Do you need a job? There's a new Target store opening on Folsom Street in San Francisco, and they are hiring. Target will be holding hiring events daily from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. This will be one of their small format stores. It has a smaller store, so it can be established in neighborhoods and communities. If you are interested, you should fill out an application on their website before you attend the event. The store is set to open on November 10th. Buy a purse, change a life. That is the name of the fun challenge taking place during the 15th annual This Old Bag Gala. The purpose is to raise money for Bay Area women and men during their diagnosis and treatment of breast cancer. Over the last 15 years, artists, celebrities, and politicians have donated one-of-a-kind handbags to raise money for the Breast Cancer Emergency Fund. The gala will be held on Friday, October 25th at San Francisco's Fairmont Hotel.
Clothing trends are always changing, but vintage has become all the rage. The trend of thrifting has become a popular way for both teens and adults to find new clothing. Is it just a trend, or is there something else? Milo Simpson-Bint has more in San Francisco.
Thrifting is the popular trend of shopping at flea markets and secondhand stores for old and used clothing. According to thredup.com, the resale market for clothing has gone up 21 times faster than the mainstream market in the last 3 years. With vintage clothes, the styles are timeless. From dated dresses to tough denim, old school has become cool. The decor can also add to the experience, whether it is old changing rooms or vintage Americana. Today, people both young and old enjoy vintage clothes. Some have made it into more than a hobby, like Mark Cruzada.
I was kind of into like a lot of like outerwear and stuff when I was like in high school, like North Face and stuff like that. And I just kind of collected it and like hoarded it for a long time. This was like early 2000s. And then I kind of just started slowly selling it like online. I did like a lot of online, and then it kind of was like a gateway to like collecting everything else.
Thrifting means something different to everybody. While some have turned their passion into selling, others have found a more eco-friendly approach. Buying used or vintage clothing is saving the environment. Just ask thrifter Maddie.
I started thrifting a lot more just because I was in an environmental science class learning about what the fashion industry does to the world with all the waste and all that.
While the purposes may be different in who shops for vintage clothing, the passion and enjoyment is the same. Thrift shopping is an activity that sees old clothes given new life and the history of fashion slowly repeat itself. On location, I'm Milo Simpson-Bint with Urban Nights Update.
Looking at data published by thredup.com, vintage and secondhand clothing are set to become a $24 million market by the end of this year. Speaking of trends, we now have an opportunity to hear firsthand about some more current trends in clothing. With that, Milo has more.
Thank you. Genevieve is a fashion and styling major here at the Academy of Art. So Genevieve, do you think you could give me a little bit of an idea about what the most popular clothing trends are right now, or what's sort of in, would you say?
Well, everything post 2000s has actually kind of already been done. There's nothing new in fashion anymore, so we see like a lot of revivals of past trends, and right now it's a lot in like vintage and authenticity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like do things get sort of recycled, like they repeat itself in some way?
For sure. Like right now we're seeing a big influx of like reworked denim, which was like really cool in the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of those same silhouettes, like the really low-rise jean, and as well as a lot of 70s trends are coming back.
Oh, yeah, I actually have seen in a lot of thrift stores, a lot of the clothing is more dated and, you know, in clothes from like the 70s and the 80s and things versus it being like new old stock, you know, from like the 2000s to the like 2010s, you know, 70s and the 80s is really popular.
For sure, I'd definitely say in San Francisco too. Like I've seen a lot of stuff at Goodwill, and then even just vintage shows in general are starting to like gain a lot more popularity.
I can definitely see that. Do you think fashion and clothing in general is important to telling a story? Do you feel like clothing in itself sort of can tell a story?
For sure. I mean, obviously I use fashion to express myself, so to me it's like a really cool way to just like instantly, without really having to verbally communicate, like tell people who you are. And you know, fashion's an art, so people can use it to convey different ideas or, you know, try to say something to the world.
That's really cool. That's how I feel about it, honestly. I try and dress how I feel, you know, and express myself that way. Why do you think sort of individual style, it has changed so much from, say, 30 years ago or so, when people were more wearing a shirt and a tie everywhere and dresses, versus now, you know?
I would say maybe it has something to even do with like a caste class system. Like originally fashion was just kind of to indicate like your social status, and so that was a really big thing. And then I think, you know, in modern times people are trying to get away from that more and realize that it's more about like the individual rather than what group you specifically fit into. And so it's just like an awesome way to just like really show who you are and find like other subcultures or people that have like-minded views.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like that viewpoint a lot. I feel that that definitely captures how clothing is, you know, changing. Do you think that thrifting, besides it being, you know, people are getting old clothes and re-wearing them, do you think there's an eco-friendly aspect to it as well?
Of course, because you know, you're recycling clothing, reusing it, and then also like there are a lot of great exchange stores where you can bring in stuff and like get credit and take stuff back. And like I personally love it because it's fun to think about like who may have worn this before me, like what adventures did they have, because like I feel like I have a lot of like emotional connections to my clothing. I know what I've done in it, so it's fun to think about like, oh, I wonder what persona used to wear this.
Definitely, that's really cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. That's all the time we have, and back to you.
Thank you, Milo. In other news, a new company called Drift has popped up in San Francisco. It is a mobile gym that specializes in being Instagram friendly. They set up at Ocean Beach overlooking the waves, and in the marina overlooking out towards Alcatraz. And a converted semi-truck is where you can get a 50-minute workout and be able to share the whole thing on social media. Classes start at $35, but if you're looking for a new gym idea in a public area, this is perfect for you.
Renoviction. That's the word for a new strategy of landlords to get rid of tenants and rent control. Lengthy renovations that go over 1 year make many tenants give up and try to find a new place to stay. And because many buildings in San Francisco are old and need renovation, it is an easy thing to do for landlords. KPIX is reporting that over 150 tenants in San Francisco claim that they are pushed out with this strategy. There are many other problems tenants face and force many people even to move out of the city. But what happens to famous neighborhoods like North Beach when so many people have to move away? Can they hold on to their bohemian culture? I've visited North Beach, also known as Little Italy, to find out more about how it evolves. North Beach, or also named Little Italy, is the heart and soul of the bohemian culture here in San Francisco. But it changed a lot over the years. Meet Jim Shine, who lived in the city since he was 17 and in North Beach since 1993. He owns an old map store called Shine & Shine in the middle of North Beach and knows a lot about the history of this district.
North Beach was a neighborhood filled with Catholics who were independent thinkers, and when the Bohemians and the Beatniks showed up after the Second World War and started going to the Art Institute over on Chestnut Street, people like Kerouac and Ginsberg and that sort, they had a place here in the inexpensive rental.
Today the rents in North Beach are among the highest in San Francisco. A one-bedroom apartment can cost up to $4,000 a month. The consequences are that more and more people have to move away, and also restaurants have to close their doors. Jim knows how it was back in the day and why it changed.
When the change in rent law, there was no equal rights and equal access changed, then a lot of places frankly disappeared. And that actually drove rents up. Well, I've lived here 40 years. The number of people who lived here in 1980 and live here now is about 5 to 7%.
With so many restaurants closing and people moving away from North Beach who lived here for decades, does this part of the city still deserve the name Little Italy? Jim sees the change realistically.
There's nothing more consistent here since 1840 than the fact that every 10 years it's a different place.
Even though many restaurants who have been in North Beach for decades have to close, there are still others that manage to stay. Vince owns one of them. It is a successful little sandwich store in the heart of North Beach called Palermo Delicatessen. He also feels a specific way about the change in North Beach.
No, I'm not sad about that. You know, I'm very happy to see people from all over here. What's sad to see here is that, you know, we have empty places now, and it's not thriving like it used to be.
One of the most famous parts of San Francisco, named Little Italy, is changing and becoming more diverse, just like the rest of the city. But there's still hope that the bohemian culture will never totally fade away. Many restaurants and stores like Vin's Palermo Delicatessen and Jim's Shine and Shine fight to stay here, and also events like the annual Italian Parade keep the culture alive. In San Francisco North Beach, Picabo Reinhold for your Urbanites update. I was happy to find out that North Beach is able to hold on to its bohemian culture, because Little Italy is by far my favorite part of the city and by far the best place to go if you like Italian food.
All frequent alcohol drinkers, look out! New Korean research suggests that regularly drinking alcohol, even in small amounts, can result in more health problems than those who drink large amounts of alcohol once or twice a week. The study looks specifically at atrial fibrillation, or AF, a disorder that causes the heart to beat irregularly and abnormally fast. Doctors in the past have suggested that total alcohol consumption was linked to this disorder, but new research has found that binge drinking alone has no clear link to AF. However, it seems that a certain beer company may disagree with that new Korean research. Samuel Adams released a limited edition beer that is so strong it is illegal in 15 states. Named Utopias, the beer has a 28 alcohol by volume percentage. It is meant to change the expectations of beer consumers. With a retail price of $210 per bottle, this beer is meant to be spaced out across several occasions, according to a press release. It doesn't seem that anyone will be binge drinking this beer anytime soon.
For many people, when you think of beer, you think of Oktoberfest, the biggest and most famous German festival. But it's not only celebrated in Germany. Many events are happening right now here in the Bay Area. But how close can the Oktoberfest get to the one in Germany? I am a native German, and so I visited one and compared it to what I know from back home. Here's what I found out. The Oktoberfest by the Bay is an annual celebration of the traditional German festival. It takes place at Pier 35 here in San Francisco. The festivities start on Friday and end on Sunday with a German Day. On that day, the United German American Society partners with the festival, and all German clubs from across the Bay Area present their flags in a German parade. The band Deutscher Musikverein in San Francisco performs every year and lets the audience enjoy traditional German music. Instructor Adrian Quince explained to me why he likes this event so much.
It's a really fun event. This is the one time a year it kind of brings the entire German community in the Bay Area together.
Besides traditional German music, on all 3 days you can also enjoy German food, beer, and buy traditional German clothes and accessories. But most of the visitors have a clear opinion about what they like the most.
The beer. The beer.
The beer's really good though. Yep. Yeah. How authentic is this Oktoberfest here in San Francisco? As a native German, I can tell you that it's a great event with a lot of attention to detail. But if you want to experience the real Oktoberfest feeling, you have to go to Germany.
The event definitely brings the German culture to the other side of the world. But a few factors make it feel a little bit different than in Germany.
I mean, you get into the beer garden in Germany and you have thousands and thousands of people, and there's not that many people in the U.S. who are that interested in Oktoberfest. So.
President of the Deutscher Musikverein, Alto Rechtenauer, knows another factor that makes a difference.
There's no Bedienung or no server ladies here. They bring you the beer. You have to get in line. You have to get your beer yourself.
Still, the Oktoberfest by the Bay is a great opportunity for all kinds of people to celebrate together. The Oktoberfest here in San Francisco is not quite like the Oktoberfest in Germany. But the attention to detail, the German food, beer, music, and the feeling of celebrating a great tradition together makes the event more than worth a visit. In San Francisco at the Pier, Picabo Reinhold for your Urbanites update. Other Oktoberfests will happen all over the Bay Area until the end of October. I can only encourage you to visit one because it truly is a lot of fun, even here in America.
It's a league that's gone to the dogs. The San Francisco 49ers are the first team in the NFL to have an official emotional support dog. Zoe is the 1-year-old French bulldog that the 49ers have brought in to help with the mental health of the players and coaches. She gives the players the ability to forget about anything bad in their lives and just relax and play with the puppy. Zoe gives the players a way to express their emotions in a safe way, and it looks like the players are responding. The team is undefeated in this season so far. So many things make up a winning team: the players, the coach, home court advantage, and some would say the fans. The Academy of Art University is a Division II NCAA team and the only art school in the association. Yet as I found out, the fans don't always appreciate how big of a deal that is. Academy of Art has 14 different athletics teams, but you may not have known that. Today, I'm going to be taking an in-depth look at the fan support surrounding the athletics department here at ArtU. ArtU Soccer has been on a tear recently and are closing in on breaking the wins record they set last year. One thing that has not changed though is the number of fans. Sophomore defender Brittany Flint has her take on fans here at ArtU.
It kind of sucks because having a crowd brings up the energy a lot, so hearing people cheering on, it really pumps us up. And parents come and that's nice and everything, but having your athletes and other classmates there, it really helps bring the energy level up a lot. Well, at soccer games a lot, they have a lot of other people there and they'll yell at us and make comments at us sometimes just to kind of throw off our game. So it'd be nice to kind of have it on the other side also, kind of teasing the other team, throwing them off, not in a mean way, but just a little helpful to us, and it's just a funny thing to laugh at and it makes everyone less stressed out. It's really hard to get to the games because we're not a campus kind of school, so you have to pay for an Uber ride or a bus ride to get there, and it's just really difficult, so people just have a harder time putting in the effort to come out.
Here at ArtU, even some of our better teams have a hard time generating fans and interest. Now let's head over to Rob Garcia, who's the head of the Sports and Information Department here, for more.
Well, as the only art school in the NCAA, it's definitely a challenge to kind of convince the student body to come out and support an athletic side, since it's a highly artistic student body and these are legitimate student athletes at the collegiate level.
It seems the hardest part for fans is interest and investment. If the teams keep winning though, that should help drive up interest, which will hopefully affect attendance. In San Francisco, Galen Manhard for Urban Nights Update. ArtU Athletics seems like they might have a ways to go in terms of increasing those fan numbers, but they look to be on the right track.
In order to catch the spirit yourself, look no further than Justin Summers, who joins us with the latest in ArtU sports.
Academy of Art Fall Athletics are back in action, and here on your Urban Nights Sports Update, we bring you all the top ArtU athletics news. Right now, women's volleyball are building up some much-needed momentum heading into the middle of conference play. The women are currently 5-7 in conference and are looking to continue winning by any means necessary. Here's junior outside hitter Ashley Pollock and junior middle blocker Sadie Emery more on their team goals and how adjustability has aided in their recent success.
I think our team goal is to win our pod. So Fresno Pacific, Holy Names, Notre Dame, and Dominican. So that's our goal, and we are currently 4 wins right now, and we have 5 more to get. So I think that's our team goal, and I think we just have that mindset of that we need to win, no matter what it takes. So I think that's a really good goal for us, and I think we're accomplishing it.
Yeah, I think for me, being in a new position and being another new coach, I think it's surprising for all of us. I think the new changes and what we've kind of faced, and I think we've come into it stronger than we have before, and it's been working out for us in the best way possible.
In this match against Fresno Pacific, 5 different Urban Knights logged career-high stats in a closely fought battle that ended in victory. Ashley Pollock shares what's going through her mind at these very moments.
Honestly, I didn't even know that we were hitting career high stats. I was just whoa. Yeah. After the game, that's when we noticed. Yeah. And it was awesome. We were all working together. We're all working hard. And I think it really shows that it takes a team it takes a team. Not one can just win a game, Yeah. And it takes all of us for us to get that win, especially a good win.
While women's volleyball is making their final run at playoffs, another Urban Knights team has had a much more steady pace. Women's cross country are preparing for their upcoming championship meet and are pushing each other to finish this season out strong. Here's junior Natalia Novak talking about how important it is to stick together.
It was getting a little tough towards like the middle, but we worked together with Audrey, and that helped me get through that part, and then it was easier to finish because we were like pushing each other.
The women are giving it all they've got out there to finish each race strong. Head coach Steve Fuelling talks about the expectations he has for his team.
Yeah, I thought the women were fine. I mean, I think like I said, we have really high expectations for them. And like I said, a lot of them have been a little banged up and coming off some minor things. So it's good to see them back out there. We do expect a lot more than that, from them in 2 weeks at the conference meet. But overall, as a group, I was happy to see them out there and kind of get back into that feeling of racing that I think they really needed.
If you'd like to keep up with the Urban Knights' recent news, download the ArtU Athletics app available on Android and Apple. That's all for your Urban Knights sports update. I'm Justin Summers. Back to you.
Thanks, Justin. This week will be the last time the smiling eyes of the great Robin Williams will look down on the Market Street. The building where the comedian actor's mural was located was bought by a developer. The former theater Billiards Parlot and strip club the mural was printed on in 2018 is scheduled to be taken down this week. The developers plan on turning the location into a rental building. Although the mural may be gone after this week, Robin Williams' memory won't be. Actress Lori Loughlin is back in the hot seat. She and her husband are facing additional charge after the grand jury in Massachusetts added more charge in the Varsity Blues sting. That's where 15 parents were arrested for trying to bribe their way into college admission for their children. Loughlin and 10 other parents face a new charge on conspiracy to commit federal bribery. They have pleaded not guilty. No arraignment dates have been set.
Lots more going on in the entertainment world. Let's join Brooklyn Marrera to find out the details.
Thanks, Galen. We have very exciting news that will keep you on your toes. It's spooky season, and that means the Halloween movies are coming now. Of course, we know the old ones like Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus, and Nightmare Before Christmas. But Orion Pictures thought, why not remake the Hansel and Gretel? It releases on January 1st of 2020, starring Sophia Lilas.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm called Gretel, and this rough one here is my brother Hansel.
Tell me how you came to be in my woods.
There's too much, and it isn't right. You're scared. There's something wrong here.
Careful, dear. I'd hate for you to start something you can't stop.
Rocketman is still making an impact on people today. The musical film took not only the audience's breath away, but also Elton John and songwriter Bernie Taupin.
I never thought in my 73rd year that I'd be sitting here in Cannes with a film coming out. To be honest with you, I was blown away. I was very moved. I cried the first time I saw it, and I cried a lot this time.
It was a wonderful experience, and I echo Elton's feelings 100%. I mean, it was very emotional. There were a couple of scenes in it where, I was quietly sobbing, to be quite honest.
Because the movie was so powerful, Elton and Taro Egtern decided to do a live performance of Rocketman at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles on October 17th in front of a sold-out crowd.
I'm going to introduce the incredible Taron Egerton.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse up here alone.
Let It Go is right. Kids have been waiting a whole 2 years to finally see Frozen 2. One more month until they can sing away with Elsa, Anna, and Olaf. You can pre-purchase now because it's coming out on November 22nd. Disney movies in 30 days, now that is a steal. Disney has been working for a long time now to create a streaming service so the kids can watch all their favorite Disney movies easily. Stay tuned.
Go! But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you. Now I'm in a whole new world.
Hopper, Dead or Alive. The world is patiently waiting for Stranger Things 4 to be released sometime in 2020. The production is teasing us with pictures of the set of Hopper's car and the characters to keep us engaged. Guess we're going to have to wait. That is all the time we have on this entertainment segment. I'm Brooke Merritt. See you next week.
Thank you so much, Brooklyn. Lots of things to look forward to.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Academy of Art University's Urban Nights Update. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Galen Manhard.
And I'm Picabo Reinhold. See you next time.